Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to make some animations and characters using Sora AI, Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Pro. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna show you this step by step and hopefully it is helpful for you. Alright, so I just want to show you one of the end animations we're gonna go create together. This is the one we're gonna go fix. Just using some Adobe products and Sora AI for the image generator. Also created a Batman. Let's say somebody's following you, you can have this animation trigger. So it could be as simple as that, and you can make it as complicated as you want. I'm just gonna work through all the steps in creating this. Hopefully it will help you to create better things, or create your own things and be less dependent of the standard things you can use in streams. So I'm gonna show you more complicated scenes. Most of it is created with AI tools, photoshopping and Premiere Pro, CapCut, and maybe some other software if something's not working out for me. But the main thing is Adobe and AI generators at this point. So we created a little blood dropping from Jonesy's head on the left. We also created the use creator code Poison Ivy floating in the legendary chest. So if you're playing Fortnite, don't forget to use creator code Poison Ivy. We have little Wukong up to the left upper corner. Just meditating in a floating, hover. We've got some noodles with a little bit of smoke of the, it's very hot heating animation. We also created an animated Pokeball, a Master Ball. And we added a little sound, of course. And Evie the cat is also animating. Evie is the name of my cat, and I will show you again what is happening with her. So she makes a bit of a yawn. And then her eyes open. So you can make it as crazy as you want, of course. This is what I like. These are the things that represents me, and this is why I created this scene. Now let's go over and show you this little animation. And let's create this together, and I'll show you how step by step. So I created this pose of the main character from Nine Souls in a fighting pose, and we're going to remix this into a high kick. So we're changing the pose into a high kick pose. Now, so this is the results we're getting. They're pretty cool. I think this one's the best, minus the hand, but that's okay. We're just gonna download it and we're gonna throw it in the Photoshop. So we have this one, and let's get back to our media. Oh, and we have this one, right? So now we have both images. And let's create another one. Just gonna create a dashing pose or whatever. Maybe we're gonna create another one like a superhero landing pose or a descending down pose. It's gonna take a little bit, as you can see. That's okay, we have the time. Meanwhile, we can start cutting out these images. Because it's a solid background, we can just use the one tool. I've got the tolerance up to 50 right now. And as you can see, there's a little bit yellow glow over it. We can get rid of it by using the levels. I'm just gonna go for the blue. We're gonna drag the center one to the left. Now I'm just gonna copy this number. And we're gonna try and do the same with this image. Starting the levels, Control L or Command L if you're on a Mac. And we're gonna paste and see what it does. Well, it's not really the result I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna play around with this. All right, need it a little bit more. Now the images kind of fall into place with the same color. So I'm gonna go back and see if our dynamic dashing pose is there. These are both pretty cool. I can't decide. I think I'm gonna go with this one. We're gonna download it and we're gonna drag it into our Photoshop file. Do the same thing. Delete it, the background. We can also render on transparent background, maybe save some time if you don't really know how to work with the Photoshop. Well, this is kind of good. Gonna flip it horizontal. So we have a dashing pose, we have a kicking pose, we have a punching kind of stand. And let's go for a descending pose. Change the pose to a falling downwards mid-air pose. Now that we have these three, we're gonna create a new canvas and we're gonna make it 1920 wide, 1080 pixels. Because the streams are gonna be in this format. And we're just gonna drag these three into there. I'm not gonna scale them yet because, well, first of all, let's change the background to black to see any. We're going to go to layer. We're gonna go to matte, remove white matte. Now we're gonna do this on all of the three images we have cut. And this is the last one. So a little bigger line on this one. So maybe we're gonna have to do something more about this. Just gonna defringe it with 2 pixels. And again, going back to remove white matte. It's still not there. Defringe it again with 3 pixels. And it's still crap. So what we want to do now is go to our layer blending options. And we're gonna add a stroke. And as you can see, we put our stroke inside. I'm gonna make it 2 pixels. I'm gonna make it black. Now, to make every image consistent, we're gonna do the same thing on every image. So you can just, let me drag out my layers here. You can just right click and copy layer style, click the other layer and paste the layer style. So now that we have that, I'm just gonna put my layers back where they belong. Layers. All right. Meanwhile, our 4th image has been created. Well, this is definitely not something we want. I could work with this one. Let's go back a bit. Let's change this one again. And let's call it change the pose into a superhero blending pose. So what we want to do, and why I created those 2 poses, is we want to have the character somehow enter the screen by falling down, landing in a superhero pose, and then maybe this is his stand, doing a kick, go back to his stand, and then run out the screen. So you have an entering the screen and an exiting the screen animation. So since we have the falling pose, I'm just gonna drag that one into Photoshop. Again, doing the same thing. Matting, remove the white matte, and throw it in here. There's a lot of yellow in there. If you fix your first image, you don't have to do all these color settings, of course. But since it's not really a problem for me because I know how to fix it, I can just work with this. This is some kind of falling pose maybe. We can use this to make him enter the screen. And eventually he will land. This will be his dash, will be his kick. I'm just gonna name the layers. This is gonna be called stand. This is gonna be called dash. This is gonna be called enter. And we're gonna name this one kick. Now it would be fun to make even more. These are both pretty good. I think I'm gonna go with this one. And again, we're doing the same thing. Cutting out the background. Throwing them in the other image so you can color correct these. Oh, I was in the blue channel. This is about it. Not really. Almost there. Just a tiny bit more. All right. So this is his landing pose, which we will also flip. Don't forget to remove your white borders. And of course, give all of the poses the same style and stroke. Now we have a lot of them. We're still gonna create another one. Of course. Let's see. Change the pose to a confident arms crossed stand. The reason I'm putting all of them in here is so I have somehow the correct size of the images. Afterwards, I'm gonna place them in how we want, but we'll get to that in a second. Because we're gonna start an animation file in Adobe Premiere. And if we already place the character where we want, it just saves you a lot of time. All right, these are both pretty good. I don't like this smile though. Let's do the same thing all over again. Insanity. Just gonna flip it. I'm gonna fix these colors. That's it. I'll do a little white matte removal and adding the stroke. All right. So I don't like his smile at all. So we're just gonna remove this. There are a number of ways you can do this, of course. I'm using the lasso tool to make the selection. And I'm gonna go to generate fill. I'm just gonna say remove. You can also use the clone tool or the fill tool to just, fill it up with this color. Sometimes the removal works better, sometimes it don't. This is way more what I like. I think we have kind of all the poses. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna shift click the top and bottom layer. I'm gonna group this with Control G or Command G if you're on a Mac. And I'm just gonna drag with Alt to duplicate this group. And why do I do this? I always do this. I call it backup. And what you want to do now is you press Control T to transform. And we're going to scale these characters. It's like this. This is probably okay. And we're going to check it out and make sure all of these are around the same size, so we can make the frame-to-frame animation. I'm gonna have him enter the screen like this, land him like that, have him stand up, do a punch, and do a kick, go back to his stand, and then dash it out. And I'm gonna alt-click the little eye icon. This layer will be the only one visible. I'm gonna press Control-Shift-Alt-S to go into Save for Web mode. And I'm gonna go for a PNG with transparency. So I'm gonna call this 009 sols. And the next one we wanna do is we click Alt on the same layer again and everything comes back. And we're gonna go for the second layer. It's gonna be the landing. I'm gonna click Alt on the little eye icon again. And we're gonna go at 0, 1, 9 sols. Now you're gonna do this for all the poses you have. This one is gonna be 0, 2. Gonna start up our Adobe Premiere. These are a set of different poses, also created with the Sora. So I made a ton of these, and that's why I also am creating the video for you guys. For instance, I have myself with a sword, popping up like Naruto style ninja, turning around, some different slash poses, and exiting the screen with another smoke bomb. So we're gonna start by putting this 9 sol character in here. We're just gonna import these images by double clicking, selecting your location of the image. And we're gonna go for the first one, 009 sols, and we're gonna go new sequence from clip. Now that we have our first one, just gonna drag these other ones into the screen. And we're just gonna play it for the hell of it, you know? What we wanna do is create a position. Just gonna enhance this image. We're gonna click that little stopwatch in the beginning. Drag these out a little bit further. Now this is gonna be 1 second. And I'm gonna do another click to make another keyframe. I'm gonna select this keyframe. I'm gonna go over here somewhere. And I'm just gonna drag this one on top of there, just so we know where we want to have this character land. I'm just gonna put it right before the landing pose. So now we have created this, and of course that's not it, but you know, we're getting there. So we're gonna click back on the first image and we see our first keyframe. And we're gonna put this back a little bit. And we're gonna put this all the way up. Like that. What we wanna do is try and create an ease in or maybe an ease out. Let's see what works. It's gonna be ease out. Select both of these keyframes. Temporal interpolation, if I'm pronouncing that correct. And there's like an easing into it right now. So that's that. Let's got this one till here. And we can still adjust the animation by creating more distance on the position. So that's a lot better. I'm just gonna stick with this one for this video. And here's the landing pose. Now we're gonna add a little sound of him landing. We'll do that after we finish the entire animation. So this is 1 second. He lands. Give him a little time to, you know, to take the pressure from his knees from the landing. Let's say here. And we're gonna go into a confident stand. Now, I actually wanna drag this underneath, just so we know if the position is about right. You can click on the word position on the third image, the right layer, just to place it where you want. I think the character looks a bit smaller here, so it's gonna be a tricky one. But let's place him here and let's see how this works out, you know? It's not that bad. I liked we got rid of the mount. Makes it more serious. All right, so he jumps, breaks his knees, he stands. And we're gonna give this a second. And then he's gonna start going for the kick. Again, I'm placing this here, maybe on top of it. Click the position again. It's probably like that. All right, that's cool. After this one, we're gonna make him kick. He lands, stands, huh, ha, hoo, ha, Johnny Bravo style, and he goes back in the stand, hoo, hoo, ha, and then he's just gonna dash his way out of there. So what we wanna do is again place it on top of here, change the position, then we're gonna click to create a keyframe on the little stopwatch again, and we're gonna create another keyframe. We're gonna select it. So now that's way too slow, of course, but it's just to get the idea. Let's get him out of the screen. Let's remove this. So there you have it. It's somehow already a pretty cool animation. Maybe what we can do is add a little effect to it. It's called caution blur. If you drag it onto the layer or onto the image, you have this new little thing here, and it has caution blur. Horizontal only. Still not good enough, so we're gonna drag this frame a little bit to the left. That looks kind of good. Looks way better. All right, so there we have it. We have our little animation. Let's add some sounds in this. I got a couple of ninja sounds, which I think would be quite fitting. All right, so now that we have added the sound, we have our incoming entering animation, which is the fall, the land, the doing stuff, and exit animation. Now it's around 5 seconds, maybe a little bit more. What you want to do now is export this, and you want to export it on a QuickTime format. Put the video codec to animation and make sure the depth is 8 bpc plus alpha. And we're just gonna export this. We have our little animation here. But the thing is, it's 25 megabytes. So what I usually do is convert it to a WebM file. This is also usable, the MOV file, but it's, you know, the more animations you get, the more megabytes you're gonna use, and not everything supports this many megabytes. So just gonna drag it in there. As you can see, I have done a lot of different, so I need to clear this map out in order not to get the message for overriding. let's go check out the final results of the simple animation we just did. And I'll show you some other ones I created for myself a couple of weeks back. Like when I'm dying a lot in a video game, I usually drop that one. Or this one. And have some fun references for whatever you want to play, use, or, you know. So you can drop them in your OBS, trigger them with a Stream Deck if you have one. You can also trigger them with the hotkeys in OBS if you don't have like a Stream Deck. But you can also use them as alerts and use stream elements to import the WebM file. I hope this helps, and I hope you learned something today. And well, maybe see you in the next one. Drop down in the comments if you have any more questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video.